computer. Alrighty, we are live, and I will edit probably this part out since it's just us talking.
It's because of the sunglasses, isn't it?
No, they look nice. I'm leaving the sunglasses.
Nice.
No, put them back on.
Wait.
Put them back on.
All right.
We can't do the podcast.
I'm taking them off.
There you go.
That was clean.
Alrighty, welcome to the Focu5 podcast. I'm pretty sure we've decided that's our name still.
I don't remember voting on it.
It was Mark and Noah. So
it's up for debate still.
You don't get
it's 2 to 3. I'm pretty sure we're going to take this. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm Mark Mears.
Hi, Mark Mears.
That's where my other two hosts begin talking.
No, keep going.
All right,
you're right. Introduction.
All right, I'm Mark Mears. As to my, what would be my left is Ian.
No, you don't introduce us. You just.
Well, then what the fuck do you want me to do? You said I want to introduce.
Talk about yourself.
So I'll show you. How this goes. So my name is Noah.
Hi,
I'm very happy to be in this podcast. I've been wanting to start a podcast for quite some time. As obviously as the beta stages, but nonetheless, I'm really hoping. This is probably the best it's going to get. But I'm really hoping from this podcast we can kind of develop a little bit more of a series going forward. Maybe a little bit more. Be careful with the censorship, Mark.
Yeah, I had to
get a few more people into the podcast, and we do like a weekly special going on, just where we kind of get used to it, get more people on, get more involvement, and so on and so forth. That's what I'm really here for. Hope something works out from this.
Well, that is
a
good introduction. So I guess I'll go then. I'm Mark Mears. I've wanted to also start a podcast for a long time. Been talking about it for a long time. So I'm glad we're finally starting it. And I hope that we get some viewers, get some interaction with them. And if not, I don't give a shit. I'll just talk shit with my friends on the internet till the end of time.
Amen.
So.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't get viewers, I'm just fine with there being material out there for my political rivals to use in the future and to pick up on. So obviously, you were anti-cat as a kid.
I will definitely bring that up if you run for politics. That you are I would say you're anti-pet. You are. You abuse dogs.
All encompassing.
That is on the record.
Let's set this straight. All right. I am Ian Smith for the listeners out there that can't read my name. Also, when earlier Mark said viewers, this is a podcast. We're not going to have viewers. We're going to have the listeners. I just want to.
I'm recording video, so write that down.
So why are we including video if it's going to be a podcast, though?
I think Ian doesn't upload podcasts on the internet.
That's a great point.
Do I have to edit this out? Don't make me take this to the editing board, Noah. You will be out of this podcast so fast. I will make it just Ian. It'll just be me. Like Ian says something, you say something, we cut that out, and it's just me responding.
Just get rid of it. That's fine.
I will re-record this entire thing without you.
But yeah, I'm Ian. I'm just the kid that's about to graduate college. It's just all I am right now. That's the only thing in my mind right now is just how close I am to being.
What are you graduating with?
Full-fledged adult. Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering.
We've got a certified brain on our hands.
Yeah. I got BS to prove it.
Oh yeah. What about you, Mark? What's your degree?
I do not have a degree yet. I am working on a degree in physics, so I'd also get a BS degree.
You got an associate's degree from.
I do have I guess I do because I went to that branch. I have not received my associate's yet.
I haven't either, and they said they would mail it to me.
They said they'd mail it? I thought you had to go in.
You did have to go in, but then they said if you didn't go in, they'd mail it to you. And
I didn't
turns out it was a lot.
What were the associates in? What did each of you get an associate's?
Well, it's just an associate's of art, yeah.
Because we're special.
So you got an associate's in physics, and you got an associate's.
No, I have an associate's of arts, which I would have gotten.
Physics doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
Well, that's what I figured.
Conceivable.
Even you can get an associate's in engineering though, or is it some type of like math?
Yeah, we got this. Ian and I have the same degree so far, and as of right now, Ian and I are even playing field, despite my 2-year setback that I put upon myself.
How do we run into that, Mark?
I used to be a business major. I was a finance major at the Ohio State University, Fisher School of Business, and I found myself getting depressed and bored of that, and I said, I'm going to study physics because it's interesting and I want to do it. And now I'm depressed, not quite bored of physics, but just about the same place, so I'm wondering if it's just a school issue. So,
but is it a school issue or is it like
it's
just a personal?
It's
Are you just
issue.
always depressed? Mark's just always depressed.
It's a me
regardless.
with school thing.
It's okay.
I would not be depressed if I wasn't in school. So yeah, all I like to for this, my only goal for this episode is that everyone knows that Ian and I are on the same playing field right now, even playing field. We are the same for all intents and purposes. Ian and I are one.
I don't.
Just because you have an associate's degree.
Just because we both have an associate's degree.
As you're gonna put each other on the same.
In like 2 months,
based off of that,
we might have to talk about it.
That'll change.
I have to change it up just slightly.
But all right, we want to roll into the material now.
Alrighty. I just want to ask, maybe we should talk about some hobbies and interests of ours. I think Ian and mine are pretty similar.
Yeah. Okay.
Like video games. We really.
I
don't know if I'd say passionate, but I
don't play video games actually.
So.
What?
I thought Ian was
what are you doing while the podcast is being recorded?
Nothing. What you talking about my TV? It's off. There's nothing on it.
I like Noah's giant image on your screen.
I just reflected off of that. Hey, Mark, censorship issues.
Oh shit. I'll color out.
Yeah, we'll fix that in post.
Yeah, we'll fix that in post.
Yeah. I got you. Hell yeah.
But
all right. So other than video games, Mark, what are some other hobbies?
Obviously physics. I am interested in. Spend a lot of my time where I'm not playing video games and not learning. I guess I would still be learning.
Not a lot of the time.
Most of my time is probably sleeping and putting off, is learning.
Wanting to sleep and sleeping.
That is true. I guess lack of sleep and more wanting to sleep, knowing that I should be sleeping, and instead staying up and just being like, I guess I can just walk to school, having been awake for the last 36 hours. But so my interests probably, I'm a very, very simple man, 2-avenue kind of guy. Video games, physics, and...
You can't say and. That's more than 2 now.
I guess, yeah. I'll leave it at that. I will leave it to the peanut gallery, Ian.
What do you got going on here, buddy?
What's next?
So yeah, definitely spend a lot of time on video games. Probably not something you should tell your future employer. I feel like that's not something that they
Did you say that during your interview the other day?
No, I did not. I made sure when she asked what...
You didn't want to ask, like, they're like, so what did you bring to the table? And they're like, how about a 2.0 KD? What can that do for your company?
I can't even do that.
You don't want to lie to them? You have to lie on your resume, Ian. That's the only thing I learned in business school.
You got to sell yourself, right.
But, no, yeah, when she asked for hobbies, I was ready for it because I know one time I did say, like, oh, I probably played too many video games. And afterwards I was like, why did I say that? Probably should have said, no one hears about some guy playing video games. And like,
hell yeah.
He brings a lot to the company.
He's going to be...
So you said that in an actual interview, like no fucks given. You're just like, hey, play a lot of video games. It's kind of a hobby of mine.
I said that, and I was like, yeah, but I'm trying to pull back on it recently. But
I'm gonna start my interviews with like, yeah, I got a bit of a coke problem, but I've been working on it recently. So.
Yeah, I've weeded away from all the alcohol.
If anything,
I don't beat my kids anymore.
I don't touch this stuff.
Good job.
I mean, you talked to me 3 nights ago. Okay, maybe, but now I don't touch this stuff.
Did I have a domestic abuse issue last night? It's different. Okay, it's a new day. Okay?
I had
off of
a domestic abuse.
Exactly. I'm off of that.
That shows how powerful my will is. Yeah. I can do that and then come to work the next day and be perfectly fine.
This company discriminates against people who had a problem. I had a problem. I took care of it. I grew as a person.
Exactly. And I will never do coke on the job, but right before and right after, I'm getting fucking blazed.
Legally, that's none of your business.
Right. So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even pertain to you.
Other interests, Ian.
I think the better things to say is to say that I'm a runner or just I like being outside. I feel like people see that and they're like, okay, runner, that's someone that's a psychopath and is able to get stuff done.
I don't know. I don't know what I was going with that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I fell flat on his face.
You're such a runner, Mark.
Yeah, let's see what you have to say.
I'm a bit of a athlete myself.
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got like a sub 11-minute mile. I don't want to brag. I don't even know if I could anymore. It's been so long since I ran.
And that's with backwind. That's
true.
helping you as much as you can.
Right.
It's pretty impressive, Mark.
Yeah, I know. I'm a pretty
nothing
strong young man.
Nothing but pride for you. We don't shame slow runners.
That's right. Doesn't matter how long it took. That's the thing, is I'm not trying anymore. Is that I stopped going to the gym. So
why is that?
Why did I stop?
This topic.
Yeah, I don't even know what the reasoning. I was lazy, or I'd have like schoolwork to do, and then Yale would come in and be like, "Do you want to go to the gym?" And I'd say, "No, I can't." And then it just happened for like 5 instances in a row, and I was like, "I'm not going anymore." So,
if I can't do it all the time, might as well not even be doing it at all.
I just set up my fucking Zoom meetings in the gym on the treadmill.
There you go. Good content.
All right, Noah, hobby.
You are up.
So I am a manager of a restaurant at the moment, McDonald's to be precise.
And that's my
I love
it's
eating
got
fast
salt
food.
and pepper.
Salt, pepper.
Pretty classy joint.
My favorite.
Pretty classy joint.
Do a lot of day drinking. Just got out of cocaine, so that's a good thing, that's for sure. But no, for real. Work out a lot. That's kind of my thing. I play a lot of Xbox with these guys. Watch a lot of Netflix. Getting into reading a little bit. My favorite book at the moment, and I'm getting ready to start, is going to be Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. But the book that I read prior to that was The Secret. Pretty good fucking book, good manifestation. Other than that, just trying to look for other routes of success, income, stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
thought of a podcast that would work out great.
Not to brag, but I know how to read too.
I often read. And as a plug since we're doing book club.
I guess I read like New York Times every once in a while, just to name drop a reputable source.
I just finished rereading Crime and Punishment for like the 3rd time. I don't know. I took a Russian. My college career has got to be the weirdest transcript ever. I took a Russian culture class when I was a business major. I don't even know why I did, but they were like, "Hey, this satisfies."
Was that the movie one?
No, that was a Mexican and Puerto Rican music, music, film, and culture class I took at OSU.
Wait, Mexican and Puerto Rican?
Yeah, it was like.
Yeah, what the fuck? So you have Spanish and Portuguese?
South. We did not go to South America. It was Central America only.
Okay.
So it was like, we started. There was some
Central America.
What is it?
Portugal's not in Central America.
I said it's not. We didn't go in anything.
He said Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. I thought he said Portugal. I apologize.
Oh.
Yeah. But so we watched. But isn't there there's a movie about the Aztec? I think Mel Gibson made it. Weird movie. I think it's Apocalypto. I did not watch that in that class. We watched a clip of it though. But I took that class as well. And then reason I'm bringing up my weird college transfer. So I finished Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. And not to be brag and say I'm better than Noah at reading, but I currently read in 2 languages because I'm also reading Schick for my German culture class.
Yeah, and how fast do you read in German?
I do not read very fast now. If I one of these pages probably take me, if I didn't cheat and like go to Google Translate every time I didn't know a word.
So you're not reading it, you're translating it.
Well, I read until it has a word I don't understand.
Which is like every 3 words?
Yeah, I mean I've taken German for like a year and a half now, so I'm not the slowest. I'm definitely way slower at reading than like talk. I don't know. Actually, that's not true. It takes me a minute to communicate too. I don't know. It takes a minute, but we're getting better.
I feel like seeing the words, it's easier to translate it rather than hearing it or.
Definitely. I mean, also my like whole background with speaking it is very much a formal sense, and then the reading is from the perspective of like a 14-year-old kid. So he's using slang that I have no idea what it means. So that's when I have to go to like Google, is when it says stuff that I'm just like, I don't even know what that means. Or I'll translate it and I'll say, this means, like the literal meaning of this is so weird. And then I look it up and it's like, oh, it's an idiom they have that you have to know.
All right,
but I'm definitely getting faster.
let's say coming off of the whole reading thing, let's get into.
Yeah, Ian gets real nervous about that. He doesn't like to talk about that.
Yeah, let's get into
I'm done.
Like just modest flexes that people can do that for some reason preview or like honestly do a lot more damage than they should. And for me, it's kind of reading. It's something that I know I could do, but I don't do it. And
I don't do it enough. I do it, and when I do it, I feel like, okay, I honestly don't know why I'm reading. I read Crime and Punishment again because it offered no value to me. The first time you read Crime and Punishment, you sort of think, or any book of that style, you're like, okay, I'm expanding my worldview. I'm thinking about things in a different way. And then when you reread it, you might be like, oh, I missed that. Third time around, there's no benefit that I'm receiving from this that I hadn't previously got. So I don't really know why I reread that, but I do know that I need to read more because I don't know, I feel better about myself, I guess.
It's like a mental stimulation almost. Yeah. Like when you get done reading, you're just like, fuck. It's like you feel like you just added some type of benefit, as one could say. Kind of like going against what you just said, but in the same way, still kind of.
But Ian hates it. He hates anyone who reads.
Anyone
who can read.
I don't hate.
I don't a school of elementary students.
I don't hate people that read. And I think reading is great. I think everybody should read.
Reading is fun.
I don't
including
do it.
Yourself. You think you should read.
I think I should read, but I don't.
Why don't you read then? Why?
Nothing piques my interest.
That is true. Like
I agree with that. Yeah.
I'll read articles because articles can be about the thing I'm interested in is engineering and I'm sure there's great engineering books out there, but
that's still some type of reading though. I feel like it still stimulates your mind. You're still learning and adapting. Yeah. But you want to read like an actual book is what you're saying.
I'm saying I don't want to. I'm saying I should.
Ian loves to lie about reading books. He got a steel book. Or a book about steel and its many factoids.
I'm using it right now. I'm using it right now to prop up my laptop.
Is Ian's audio cutting out for anyone else, or is that just my shitty headphones?
It's just your shitty headphones, buddy.
That's great, because I'm the one recording this.
We'll be right.
It shouldn't make a difference.
That's something I'm thinking it won't matter.
You think like a modest flex would be reading?
Yeah, what's a modest flex? What's something that someone can do that's honestly not even impressive, but you see
run a mile faster than 10 minutes. That's a flex that I'm like, ooh.
Usain Bolt over here, I guess.
I would say the ability to hold a conversation, and that sounds pretty weak.
Who brags about that?
But I feel. I don't think anyone. No, it's not a brag. It's just something that you see. It's just very
you see someone walk up to a random person and carry on a conversation,
and you're just go for it. That can just jump into a random group of people and just
and that annoys you.
And just
somehow that annoys me. It's a flex on me that I wish I could do. I wish that I could do it.
Yeah.
So obviously we know that somebody who can run a mile faster in 10 minutes annoys Mark. So
can someone? I don't know. I don't think man has reached that limit yet. I think we're
man can only go so fast. They can go long distances. They're built to go long distances.
Right.
Speed is not
that fast. There's no way. No.
My headphones keep sliding back on my slick fucking head.
Maybe you should take a shower.
Cool.
I did take a shower for this. I am wearing the same thing as yesterday because we were going to do this podcast yesterday, and I wanted to rep my Misfits shirt, and then we didn't, and I was like,
brand censoring. We just had this talk. What are you doing?
That's not a brand. Well, maybe it is. I didn't order the shirt from the Misfits. I ordered the shirt from. I don't know. My mom got me the shirt.
Do we have the right to use the word Misfits? Can we use the band?
We're a ragtag group of kids. We can use whatever word we want. We are the Misfits.
I see it. We can do whatever we.
Oh, now we're yelling at me about censorship? That's a fucking line from a movie.
You can't prove that. You can't prove that or disprove it.
You also can't copyright or trademark common phrases. So
I don't think that's a common phrase.
Yes, it is.
I've never heard that. I guess.
Just like how OSU tried to copyright the word the, they try to copyright that, and I think it's so stupid. I'm sure
I will admit it's stupid, but I love to say it. Love to say it.
Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah!
It's nice.
Just when I just love being an ass when someone's like, "Oh, you go to the Ohio State." I'm like, "Oh, the." I'm sorry, the.
If you say it incorrectly again, I will.
I will have to legally. I have to put the hands on you if you say it wrong again.
I will have to beat you with a necklace made of Buckeyes if you do that.
From that point on, has anyone in this chat ever been in an actual fight?
I mean, my brother and I used to fight. Like more.
Some say verbal fights are even worse than physical
some say
ones.
Okay, go ahead.
Things that can be done in the mind.
What is the worst thing said?
Yeah, what's the meanest thing ever said to you, Ian?
Said to me?
Said to you.
Someone made fun of my voice once. I didn't like it.
I don't know who would do that.
But no, I don't know. I've never been in like a verbal altercation with anyone other than like.
I don't know. I feel like I don't think I've ever been in a verbal fight with somebody. I guess I have, but none of it sticks out. The only like fighting I used to do, like physical fighting, when I was a kid, for some reason, my brother and I were like best pals from like, we'd get off the bus after school and we'd be home alone for like 2 hours. And for the first 45 minutes, bliss. It was just us hanging out. For some reason, at that 45-minute mark, it was like on fucking sight. Like, I'm talking like straight punching each other in the fucking face. Matt broke my leg before. It's fucking, and then we'd just be fucking angry until our parents came home, and then we'd be like, "God, stop crying! Mom's gonna see, dude. We're gonna get in trouble." And I remember one time I punched Matt in the face. I'm 2 years younger than Matt, so I'm sure it didn't hurt him at all. I've never been a strong individual, but he said, "I'm out of here." And he walked into the woods, and I was like, "Mom's gonna be home," and I'm like, and we had just gotten cell phones, so I'm like texting and calling him. I'm like, "You gotta get home. Mom's gonna be here." He's like, "Leave me alone. I'm never talking to you again." Hangs up. Mom gets home. She's like, "Where's your brother?" I'm like, I don't know. And Matt comes in like 5 minutes later. Mom's like, "Where were you?" He goes, "I was just at the creek." And he'd look at me like, "Say something." And I'd be like, "Yeah, he was just at the creek, Mom." So, but yeah, Matt and I used to fucking fight constantly. And then somehow once I started, like, went into college, we became best pals. I don't know what transpired. No, what is the worst fight?
You grew up.
I guess that is true.
Yeah,
we both became adults and said, maybe we shouldn't just sock each other in the fucking mouth for no reason.
Let's be friends.
What would it take for you to sock Matt in the mouth right now? Like, what would it take?
Not a lot. Every time, I don't know. Matt's a special case because he's gotten me kicked out of like 3 bars.
I was gonna say if he was drunk.
Oh, if Matt's drunk, he'll fight me for no reason. He'll fight me just to fucking whoop my ass. I don't like. Yeah.
Luckily, the one time Ian went out drinking, we ran into Matt and I was able to see him get kicked out of the place.
Fun, yeah. I don't even remember.
And then we went back in.
Okay, so what happened was.
Are we allowed to bring Mark onto this podcast or Matt onto this podcast?
I don't give a shit. Yeah, I'll do it. But what was happening? We were at this bar. It was on High Street. For any of the viewers who don't know, we're just gonna give out addresses now. Ian lives at. I'm just kidding. We live in Columbus, and so we're at a bar on High Street.
You can find us among the 2.2 million residents. Yeah, good luck.
Good luck. And but Matt wasn't like getting served for some reason. The guy just like wasn't taking his order. So Matt started flipping over cups that had like ice in them all over the back and like throwing them at the guy. And so the security like comes over and he's like, "You think you're funny, man? Just go outside." And Matt's like, "You can't kick me out. My brother's here with me." And then the guy's like, "Oh yeah?" And then he comes over to me and he's like, "This your brother?" And I was like, yeah, that's my brother. He's like, "Y'all gotta get the fuck out of here." So he like pushed us out. And so we walk outside. And I'm like, "Man, that kind of sucks." Matt's like, "Don't worry." He takes off his fucking sports jacket and puts it and like throws it over his shoulder, walks around, and the fucking bouncers let him back in immediately. And we just walked back in, and I was like, "That's fun. That's nice." The funniest time we almost got kicked out of a bar, but didn't. Matt was fighting. It was St. Patrick's Day, and some guy was like trying to buy Matt's girlfriend a drink or something, and he was giving her his phone to fucking put his number in. or put her number in it, and so Matt came over and he's like starting to fight or whatever. I'm also at the bar with my oldest brother David, and he taps me on the shoulder, and because we're like looking away, and he points, and I turn around and I look and I see two people fighting. I'm like, what a bunch of fucking idiots! And I go, I know that fucking idiot. So I was like, oh, we better fucking go back. But yeah, Matt is hard to hang out with at bars. Hard to go out and hang out with. But good guy. Good guy now that I've said that.
Good guy nonetheless.
Good guy. Good guy and all.
He's not nearly as angry and abusive as he sounds.
No, yeah.
We'll go to bat for him.
So Noah, your worst fight. Matt would have been great as a guest for the worst fight because he fight when
we'll have to do this again.
Yeah, when he was in a frat, he would constantly.
We'll use the fighting conversation for someone that's been in a fight.
Yeah,
we'll make that stipulation next time. Next time we start talking about the topic, we'll make sure that we have an expert.
Yeah.
I would say my worst fight, because I got jumped a few times when I was a kid, but like my worst fight.
Robbed?
Yeah, well, not robbed.
Like I
was like second grade.
15.
I was second grade, and Noah has.
He jumped it.
I wanted her to be my girlfriend, and she liked me more than she liked him. So he got 4 of his buddies to come get me. They circled around me. He kneed me in the gut, knocked the wind out of me. I fell on the ground. When I fell on the ground, 3 of them started kicking me until the teacher obviously came over and then broke it up. I went at bat and said nothing happened.
You said you're lucky she showed up.
No, I would have got my ass. I got my ass beat.
Yeah.
Short story short, we all ended up being friends like a few years later, but that's besides the point. The worst fight happened not that long ago. I had to bust down a door to actually get into somebody's house.
Anyone who doesn't know Noah, his size, you gotta imagine the door was just made of plywood.
Twice my size. Cardboard. The door's twice my size. Oh no, I'm sure.
The door is made of cardboard, and no one had to kick it through.
If you busted down,
it was wet cardboard. It was a cardboard door, and it was raining outside. And it took him 5 minutes.
You know those.
I just slammed it the other direction. You know,
he closed it just to open it back up.
Football teams run through.
Exactly, just a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
Right. So I busted through that. Right, I busted through the sheet of paper. The guy ended up walking up on me. I broke into his house, so obviously he walks up on me, and I just grabbed him, threw him up against the wall, got him in a headlock, and just started fucking laying into him. Yeah, so right on the lips, man. We just started the whole fucking about 20 minutes.
I'm talking really heating him up, bro.
Basically beat the fuck out of him, and that's my only like real fight.
Is that a fight at that point?
He grabbed my hair.
Oh, I get.
He pulled my hair, and I would say that's the most aim.
You went, huh?
You're really taken away from the fucking fight.
Well, okay.
No, it's still cool.
It's manly as hell.
It's a dope story.
The goal of this show is
just got behind.
I was butt naked, by the way. He was too. I don't know if that helps out the story.
When he said bust through the door, that's a
clothes was way you down. The clothes would weigh you down.
I busted right through his door, man.
Busted right through his door, man. So far this show has just been about what manly things have we done, and none of us are manly people, so we gotta
whoa,
make them all.
I love how I just go on, but I get shut down. That's okay.
Masculine.
You shut me down at any point. If you guys not shutting me down, I guess I didn't. I guess I admitted I didn't do anything manly.
Right.
Ian, I don't know if you need to hop to that class or not.
Yeah.
How much did we get done today?
We've got to go. I mean, we can still, you and I can shit talk for like, I have like 2 more things written if you want to talk about it, but we haven't done any of the shit I've written, so it's okay. So we
bring up the topic before Ian leaves, and let's start with that.
Well, the next one was going to be the goals, and all he has to contribute to that. Ian, go ahead and say what your short-term and long-term goals are for this podcast. For this podcast specifically. You have to speak up as well.
Yeah, you gotta use the mic, buddy.
Sounds sexy as hell.
It is.
You gotta be louder. I don't know what's going on with your mic right now.
Scream.
That is quite as hell. What? You've gotten worse, progressively worse.
How did you manage that?
You're fixing things, but they're just going the opposite direction. Just yell. It's like a fine volume if you just speak up. Like
just go upstairs. Go upstairs. Go on Marks and just.
How about now? Is this a good?
Just okay, but talk louder. That's fine, but talk louder.
How about now?
That's fine. Keep going. I don't give a shit at that point. Yeah.
Too loud now?
No, that's fine. I can barely fucking hear you.
I still can't.
You sound like a fucking. It sounds like in a horror movie audio.
Yeah, you're like downstairs in the fucking basement locked.
For this. On this podcast, I want to have fun.
Are you having fun, son?
Yeah. It feels like I'm doing an impression. Is this getting really quiet?
No, it still sucks. But go ahead and continue with your thought.
No, okay, so it is quiet. I don't know what to do then.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So I'll reiterate Ian's short-term and long-term goals for any of the viewers who didn't hear his screaming.
My long-term goal is to have fun.
Oh, that sounds better. Whatever you did.
I'm just. Is this?
Hey, there you are.
Wonderful.
I don't know what. I don't know.
Go ahead.
I'm not the IT guy. How many times did I have to say my short-term?
Ian, what was your short-term goal? Go ahead.
My short-term goal is to have fun, and my long-term goal, keep having fun, baby. That's all we're here for.
Nice.
Beautiful. That was beautifully said, Ian.
All right.
I want to hear your guys' now before I leave.
Do you? You've already, since you've heard mine 3 times.
Yes, I wish.
All right. I'll go ahead.
This is all live. This is not pre-recorded. We don't. This is all content.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never spoken to these men before in my life.
We don't rehearse Hispanic means, guys. I don't know what.
We really hadn't, which I really wanted to.
I was gonna say, if this is
rehearsed,
then I feel bad.
Yeah, this is worse.
It hasn't been bad. This has been decent.
I feel like we've been doing well, but so let me go ahead and continue with my goals. My short-term. Well, obviously, I share the sentiment of Ian. I want to have fun. My short-term goal is for this next at least month to put an episode out every week. I want them to be probably about 30 to 40 minutes long, and just at least start the work to doing this habitually. So that's my short-term goal. My long-term goal is to, by the end of 2 years, have at least 1,000 listeners per episode.
Active listeners, right?
Yeah, just want to listen to it and
3
engage,
zeros,
etc. So that's my long-term goal, and I feel like we could do that in 2 years' time.
Anyone listening to this, make sure
you share it to everyone.
Send this link to your grandma, your grandpa, your cousins.
It doesn't even matter if they watch the whole thing. Just
I don't care. As long as you open it, I'm good.
Your professors, your teachers,
yeah,
boss.
Especially
boss. I was about to say boss. Yeah. Alrighty. And Noah, your goals.
I would say a short-term goal of mine is to basically kind of what you said. I want to get something kind of just in a rhythm. Rather it be once a week, once every 2 weeks. If everyone's on the podcast, only one of us are on the podcast. I just want to consistently put out some type of content that I feel okay with. And in long term, I do want to build a fan base, but I also just want to feel comfortable entirely to just go on a podcast, go on a YouTube video, anything like that, and just do my shit. Same thing with you guys. I kind of want us all just to get to that level of just confidence that we can just start producing mass amounts of content.
I would agree with Noah that my short-term goal is to keep putting out.
Don't change it now.
No, to keep putting out. Just put out as much as I can.
Ian puts
just
as his roommate.
Consistently put out.
I guarantee he does not put out. I've tried, America.
Well, no. I mean, this is our first video. I can't put out.
Right.
We're putting out now. Videos.
He's working on it. All right. Well, we can call it there. Honestly, that's like 30-some minutes. So.
What was the second question? We're already here. Might as well go for the question.
It was what made you want to start a podcast?
This is
Ian. What made you want to start a podcast?
This is where I give my departure. But
right. Well,
so you can't answer that question real fast. What made you want to do a podcast?
But
I already know his answer. Is
goodbye
everyone
kisses
else wanted.
to all of you.
See, Ian. I'll see you downstairs for dinner. All right. So
what was your answer to that then?
My answer to what made you want to start a podcast is I enjoy talking to my bros. I think we have usually pretty fun conversations that more than even wanting to share the conversation, I would like them to be sort of set in stone that I could go back and relive those conversations. And I listened to probably like every week, probably like 6 or 7 hours of podcast. And I was like, man, it'd be awesome to, sort of sit down with your friends and talk the way that I enjoy listening to people talk. So that's my reason.
Oh yeah. Similar to what you're saying, my thing was because like we've tried to do streaming and stuff in the past as far as video games go. It's just a means of one, I enjoy doing something like I enjoy talking to you guys. It's a good time. So what I spend a lot of my free time doing. It's either playing Xbox or having conversations with you guys. So why not try to build off of that, more or less what I'm getting at? Because if I can start doing this and, we end up having 100 people who like our conversation as well, well, hell, man, we just contributed to 100 people's lives. Even if it's only one person outside of this friend group that we kind of benefit in any way, shape, or form. If it's funny shit we talk about, if it's serious issues, regardless, we still have that impact. And that's pretty cool.
I'd love to meet the people that we're having a serious impact on based on our conversations. They've got to be in a rough spot.
Hey, man, it's okay. I mean, regardless of what spot they're in, it would just be cool to have that immediate impact if it's a real impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely think it would be nice to be able to say I had some kind of impact. I mean, I don't want to pretend like I'm not hoping for some kind of success with this, like the way I answered was kind of, I mean, I do want 1,000 listeners. Because I think it's kind of I want to have some modicum of success based on this. There's no reason to start any project unless you want to be successful. So I think it is important to have a mindset that I want to, I want to do this thing and I want to, do it right and do it well.
Exactly.
So
that's I think you're right.
But,
by having a goal, it's very necessary. And I think that's what's cool with this is we have people from all different fucking backgrounds. Like we have you and Ian who are a lot more like scientific, a lot more kind of just goofy and out there. We have Tyler who's been.
We're not going to pretend that I'm an intellectual.
The conversations that are going to be had from you can lead into that, or they can just be goofy as shit. We have Mason who's just kind of a comic. We have me who's a bit more of an entrepreneur, I would say. We can add Mitchell in here who's more like the music side, but we all kind of share similar things because you, Mason, and Mitchell can talk about music. All of us can have an intellectual conversation, and then like Tyler and I and Mason can all have like a serious life kind of conversation. But we all tie into all different areas, which would be good to kind of just broadcast our audience more or less.
Yeah.
But moving forward, man, I hope this works out. Hell yeah.
I hope it works out too. Do you want to end it there?
What do we finish time at?
I have no idea the time. It's probably been about 35 minutes, so.
It's been over 30 minutes. So yeah, man, let's call it for today. If we end up going for
do you want to plug your I'm going to plug the Twitch, twitch.tv/scented-candle. I do not stream very consistently. I stream purely when I'm like probably drunk, and I'm like, fuck it. We're going to stream. So
right.
But you could follow up and catch me on stream. Twitter. I don't know. I'm sure Twitter links work the same. It's at Scented Candle on Twitter, at Scented Candle on Instagram. That's about it. You want to plug the Twitch channel now?
I think it's Floa James 2, or if it's not, it's X Floa James X11. Either way, just look for Floa James or Floa J.
All right.
Either way.
Good deal. And we'll see you next week, hopefully.